How is it just home reaction? This is finally America releases new super fighter jet to replace F-22 Raptor. Goodbye China. This was channel Heroes. Lockheed Martin X-44 Manta. Is this the NG-80 one that they're talking about? Is that is the one supposed to replace F-22, right? I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I've been watching military style videos recently. They're really interesting. Basically things like this. What is the next generation of technology is? How it's gonna change the world, basically, literally. Because technology always trickles down to everyday use somehow. So yeah, it's gonna be something. Let's watch it. How much of a stealth this thing gonna has? That's the one thing I'm thinking of, because this is like literally new generation of things. F-22 is really like multiple decades old, right? F-35 is newer but not really newer. It's also a few decades old. So this is a newer concept, and in past 2 decades technology has changed a lot. Material science has changed a lot. So this will be really interesting to see. Remember, if you like my Rick, don't forget to subscribe. So I know which type of videos to react to more. Check out the Rick, this is a link in the description. And yeah, let's watch it. So yeah, I've been watching videos like this recently from Real Engineering. I think there's a Real Engineering video about many other things. Also watched the F-35 video, which was insane. F-35B one, how it's like working, right? How is it like hovering and things? It's so insane to see the tail end just like moving like that. I'm sure that would help out in like maneuverability type of way as well. The NG-80 video I've seen 1 or 2, but obviously we don't have much information on that. So one day we will. Right now we don't have much information on that, right? F-18 is like criminally underrated. Nobody talks about it, even though it's like one of the most used jet of the past few decades. Yeah, F-16, F-18. So basically like newer generation of planes are going to be insane. China and everybody is also trying to invest into the next generation of like different role fighters, right? This is kind of like newer thing, past few years, a decade at best, past decade thing. Before that, people were even wondering like, do we even need this, right? Like Bush administration, Obama administration were like thinking like, do we even need F-22 or something? But yeah, this is like a newer thing that is rising up. What is more fucked up thing about like newer trend of war, that is like makes sense, because in past few years every other country is like trying to like ramp up this kind of a new tech. What are they going to do with it? Of course wars are going to rise up, which is kind of fucked up.
The Lockheed Martin X-44 Manta was an American conceptual aircraft design that has been studied by NASA and the U.S. Air Force. It was intended to test the feasibility of full yaw, pitch and roll authority without tailplanes. The aircraft design was derived from the F-22 Raptor and featured a stretched delta wing without tail surfaces. The X-44 was designed by Lockheed Martin to demonstrate the feasibility of an aircraft controlled by vector thrust alone. The X-44 Manta design...
Alright, I said in one of the videos, like it looks like Northrop's Northrop's F-23 one that they never use. I guess Japan is utilizing that, but kind of looks like that. But when I really see, look at that. It doesn't look that much. It's only similarities like somewhat shape. But that's not really similarity. Just like saying all jets are the same. No. This is really insane. But why is it called X-44? Wouldn't that be called XF-44? Or this has no designation, like they don't know if they're going to use this for fighter jets. Like if it's going to replace F-22, it must be for like air dominance thing. So it should be XF-44, right? Or they might be going through that like F-35 route, like where they can use this for multiple purpose. Who knows? That's where military is usually going right nowadays.
Was based on the F-22, except without a tail and incorporating a full delta wing. The X-44 Manta would have a greater fuel capacity than the F-22 due to its larger delta wing design. The Manta was designed to have reduced mechanical complexity, increased fuel efficiency, and greater agility. Way back in 1999, Lockheed Martin had a plan to field a delta-shaped stealth fighter that skipped the need for a conventional tail section in the F-22-based X-44 Manta. Instead of using a conventional tail section with both vertical and horizontal control surfaces, the Manta aimed to leverage thrust vector control, or directing the flow of the engine's thrust to give the aircraft the acrobatic capabilities it would need in a high-end dogfight. Today, more than 2 decades later, that same concept appears to be found consistently across nearly all official renderings of the Air Force's next air superiority fighter being developed under the NGAD, or Next Generation Air Dominance. At right around the same time, the Air Force also unveiled a birthday-celebrating image, seemingly showing a wedge-shaped aircraft with no conventional tail section, prompting some to wonder if the artist's handiwork had anything to do with the NGAD announcement that came alongside it. Since then, other official images out of the Air Force, along with
Look at that, look at how it looks. Like wings starts from all the way to start to end. Literally looks like a kite, right? I mean, that's how like the B-2 bomber also looks like this kind of, right? So I like how like newer fighter planes, back when we didn't have technology, we couldn't do this because agility wouldn't be there. Because of all the different type of tech we have today with like a good material science, like how you can make different type of like mechanical moving parts, you can make shit like this and still make it agile. This is how the future jet's gonna look. Look at that.
Renderings from prominent aviation firms like Lockheed Martin have all shown similar wedge-shaped aircraft. The X-44 Manto wasn't the only F-22-based concept rolling around at the Pentagon at the time. As the world's first operational stealth fighter, the first fighter to christen the new 5th generation of jets, and arguably the most potent air superiority aircraft ever to fly in service for any nation, it makes sense that the United States would have considered leaning into the F-22 program for other more specialized roles. While the X-44 concept aimed to saw off its tail and make the F-22 even sneakier, the Sea Raptor effort would have placed F-22s aboard America's fleet of supercarriers, offering a jet that could fly faster, further while carrying more ordnance than the F-35Cs now destined for Uncle Sam's flat tops.
Yep, there you go. NGAD basically, next generation of air dominance. Look, F-35 is like jack of all trade. Now, whenever you have some jack of all trade type of jet, right, usually they're not going to be best at what they're doing, right? Because they're supposed to do multiple jobs. That is true. That is true with F-35 as well. The only reason that is not true is because there is no opposition. There is no opposing jet or opposing, enemy country jet that even come close to that. So even F-35 is like jack of all trade, it's still like one of the best one on the sky. That's how insane it is. F-22, they're about to retire it and it's still untouchable. So there is a chance where if some opposing country rises, somehow country like, Russia was the competitor, now it's like China too. Somehow they rises to US's level. Theoretically, they could make something that could beat F-35 in a lot of places. Because F-35 was made to do multiple jobs, so it will have compromises. But right now, USA is so on top that even with compromises, it's still best. But yeah, NGAD looks awesome. The kite shape is also awesome, right? Obviously, we won't see this until like a decade from now at best in like large number, right? Or even declassified way. But yeah. Right, well, if you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to see other reactions like this, like fire attrition or other like tech videos I reacted to, check out the link in the description or end card right now. And I'll see you next time.